alaikum. In this video, we'll talk about completing square method. How can I solve any quadratic equation by using this method? Actually, in this video, we'll talk about how using discriminate to find the number of solutions for any quadratic equation and how to solving any quadratic equation by using the completing square method. Okay, quadratic equation is an equation in the general form written in this form: ax bar 2 plus bx plus c equals 0. Any quadratic equation can be solved by different ways: by graphing, by factoring, by quadratic formula, and square root, and also completing square. In this video, we will talk about this method, completing square method. So to solve any quadratic equation by completing square, follow these steps. Number one, you have to find the discriminant of the quadratic equation to know how many solutions do you have in this quadratic equation. This is the formula of the discriminant: b power 2 minus 4 times a times c. Actually, we have three cases for the discriminant. If the discriminant is bigger than 0, mean there is positive number or the answer is positive number. If the discriminant equals 0 and if the discriminant is negative number. The first case, if the discriminant is positive number, so we have two real solution. But if the discriminant equals 0, mean that I have one real solution. But if it's negative number, mean there is no real solution, mean that I have complex solution or imaginary solution. Okay, number two, you have to change the quadratic equation to this form. Take a as a common factor from the first two terms and the constant term, move it to the other side. After that, add for both sides b over 2a to the power of 2 like this. Okay, then after that, okay, you can change the left brackets to the completing square by x plus minus. It depends on the sign or the first sign. If it's plus, put plus. If it's minus, put minus. B over 2a to the power of 2 equal. On the right side, you can calculate the numbers. After that, this is actually the formula of the completing square. So the completing square formula, we can direct change any quadratic equation to the completing square by using this formula. So if you want to solve the quadratic equation, you can take square root for both sides, but make sure that the right square root is with positive and negative, because if the discriminate give me positive number, so there is two solutions for the quadratic equation, and this is the answer for, or this is the solution for the quadratic equation. See this example to show how to use the completing square to solve the quadratic equation. The first example here, solve x bar 2 plus 4x plus 1 equals 0 by completing square. In this case, a is equal 1. So I have a equal 1, b equal 4, and c, it's clear, equal 1 again. Okay, so step number one, I have to find the discriminant to know the number of solutions for this quadratic equation. So by substituting in the formula, 4 power 2 minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 1, the answer is 12. So mean that I have two real solutions. Okay, so step number two, I have to find b over 2 because this is the number that I have to add it in both sides. So b over 2 equal 4 over 2, which is 2. Here, no need to take a as common factor because a is 1. So no need to do this step. All right, so move the constant term to the right side. So you have x bar 2 plus 4x equal negative 1. Now I have to add to both sides b over 2 power 2, which is 2 here. So add 2 power 2 to the both sides. Okay, so on the right side, after calculations, 3. And keep it on the left side. Then open brackets, put power 2, and the right side put the answer. So the first number is x, put x. The first sign here is plus, put plus, and the number inside the brackets, which is b over 2, it's equal to, so put 2. So this is the completing square for this quadratic equation. Now to solve it, take square root for both sides. Now the left side is x plus 2, but the right side, keep it plus and minus square root of 3. Now you can move 2 to the other side and opposite side. So x equals negative 2 plus minus square root of 3. So mean that there's two answers for this quadratic equation, that x is negative 2 plus square root of 3, or x is negative 2 minus square root of 3, and this is the answer for this quadratic equation. In this example, the difference between the first example and the second example, in this example, a is bigger than 1. So how can I deal with this question when a is bigger than 1? Look to this example. Solve 3x bar 2 minus 14x minus 5 equals 0 by completing square method. All right, so actually here, a equal 3, b equal negative 14, and c, you have it equal negative 5. Number one, we have to find the discriminant, which is b power 2 minus 4 times a times c, to know the number of solutions for this quadratic equation. So by substituting in the formula, I have negative 14 power 2 minus 4 times 3 times negative 5. The answer is 256, which is a positive number, meaning that there's two real solutions. Okay, so after that, move the constant term to the right side. So the equation is 3x bar 2 minus 14x equal 5. All right, so we need the quadratic equation to be in this form, that I have to take a as a common factor. So I will take a, which is a 3 here, as a common factor by dividing the first two sides by 3. So this is 3 outside, so if I divide the first term by 3, it will be x bar 2. The second term, it will be 14 over 3 x, which is equal 5. Now, since we need it now to make the completing square by using this formula, that I have to add b over 2a. Now, I will calculate, this is b over a. Now, I will calculate b over a over 2. So, make it over 2, okay, which is 7 over 3. Now, I have to add to both sides 7 over 3 power 2. Now, it will be like this. 3 times x power 2 minus 14 over 3x plus the new number is 7 over 3 power 2. And on the right side, I'll do the same. But why I multiplied by 3? Since on the left side, the bracket is multiple with 3. Now, on the right side, after calculation, it will be 64 over 3. But on the left side, the first number is x inside the bracket. The first sign here now is negative, so put negative. And the number inside the bracket is 7 over 3, put 7 over 3. Now, I will move 3 from the left side by dividing both sides by 3. Now, after dividing, it will be x minus 7 over 3 power 2 equals 64 over 9. Now, take square root for both sides. So, mean that x minus 7 over 3 equal plus and minus 8 over 3. Don't forget the plus minus. So, move the 7 over 3 to the other side. I have x equal 7 over 3 plus minus 8 over 3. Mean that there is two answers for x. X equal 5 or x equal negative 1/3. This is the answer and this is the root for this quadratic equation. All right, so can I direct use the formula to put the answer direct? Okay, the same example, but actually now I will direct use the formula for the quadratic for the completing square. So this is the values for a and b and c, which is 3 and negative 14, negative 5. So actually the formula for the completing square is this formula. Now I will substitute the three values in this formula. X plus minus b over 2a power 2 equal negative c plus a times b over 2a power 2 over a. So if you substitute to the left side, you will have x minus b is 14 and down 2 times a, which is a 3 power 2. On the right side, but here, before the right side, I put here negative since the first sign is negative. So you should put the first sign direct. So on the right side, after substitution, negative c, negative negative 5 plus 3 times 14 over 2 times 3 to the power 2 over 3. Now, if I calculate the right side 64 over 9 and the left side 14, divide 2 times 3, which is 6. After simplifying, it will be 7 over 3. Then I will follow the same steps that I did it in the first example by taking square root for both sides and then give the answer with the plus minus and then move 7 over 3 to the other side and then show the answer for x. Okay, so this is the other way if I want to solve any quadratic equation direct by completing square without doing all the steps. I can use this formula direct. Okay, so this video we talk about completing square method. First of all, we talk about the discriminate and the three cases of discriminate. That if it's bigger than zero, mean that I have two real solutions, and if it's equal zero, mean that I have one real solution, and if it's less than zero or it's negative, there is no real solution, or I have imaginary solution. And the completing square, this is the formula for completing square. You can use it direct after you found the value of A and B and C. Thank you for watching us. See you next video, inshallah.